Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to 14 Days of Christmas, which I am combining today with Mixed Media Mayhem. And the recipe today for Mixed Media Mayhem is some fiber, some metal, and some ink. And fiber could be a textile or stitching. And so I ended up starting out with this photo. This is the little girl I watched sitting on her dad's lap when she was, I don't know, just a few months old. Let's see here, probably 4 months old. And so I know I want to use this pink paper, so I went to my swatches and I decided to use saltwater taffy, and then I pulled out Victorian velvet. And then after I did a little bit of inking, I decided to switch back to spun sugar. I had pulled out the spun sugar at first, and then I thought, well, maybe I want some darker tones in there, because the paper has some light colors, like lighter areas of pink and some darker. And the Victorian velvet just ended up being too dark. So I ended up getting rid of that one and then starting over and doing some spun sugar. And I'm just using my blending brushes to apply that on this piece of paper. So I don't have a ton of mixed media per se, like when you think of ink and spray and texture paste and all of that on this. But I do have inking, which is what I'm doing here. And then I am going to add my textile and the metal, which are both mixed media supplies that you don't really think of, because you think of, wet mediums that you apply to your paper when people say mixed media. But mixed media just means that the medium is mixed. I pulled out my really handy Fiskars crimping tool. I got this used from someone. I had always wanted one when they first came out, but I never bought one. And then I didn't think about it for many years, and it came across somebody was getting rid of one at a crop that I was at, and I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to take that because that is perfect. And I really like that it just adds a little bit of texture. But I am going to mix some cardboard on this layout, because I kind of want the juxtaposition of really masculine and very feminine. Because in the photo, she is on his lap. You can't really see, well, you can't see his face anyway because I have a Post-it over it and the glare is on the screen. But if you can actually see him kind of looking down at her when there is no Post-it on it and she's looking over at the camera. So I thought I'd pull in this kind of sagey green paper, and I am ripping the edge of it, and I ripped the edge of the cardboard as well, kind of to make it a little bit more rugged and masculine. And at this point I am leaving the pink inked paper and the one that I put through the Fiskars tool, I'm leaving them with a straight edge, but eventually I'm going to go ahead and rip those because it just looks better with them ripped. But I really like the idea of having some more masculine portions of this layout, because that bottom paper is very pink, you guys. It's got some really pretty texture to it, because the leaves that look pink are actually foiled, and you can see the highs and the lows of the colors, and it's just a really pretty piece of paper. It's from SEI. I think I might have shown you the branding strip there on the screen, and it is pretty old. There is no date on it, but it's from their Vanilla Sunshine collection, which is very old, probably at least 2013 or so, I'm guessing. So I'm liking the way this is coming together. I'm just kind of playing around with it and trying to figure out what I want to do. I do know that I want to bring some green over to the other side of the layout as well. So I'm thinking I'm going to back my layout with some green. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that with one sheet of paper. I actually do have 2 sheets of paper, but I didn't want to cut into a second sheet unnecessarily if I could get it out of one sheet. And I know that seems kind of weird and maybe a little stingy, but honestly, I was like, I really don't want to have to find the other sheet of this green in my stack of paper here, and I really would love to just be able to use one sheet, and there should be no reason why I can't do that. So I'm trimming down this pink paper so that there will be a border of the green all the way around it, but the left-hand side, the border is not going to be underneath it. It's going to be a strip of paper over the top. And then I am going to cut a little bit of this pink off as well so that I have a little extra. And I am going to gut the green too, so I'm going to have extra green. So it took me a little bit of time to figure it out. And on top of that, I am not feeling 100%. You might hear it in my voice. I have been just battling this thing. I think I'm on, I don't know, day 24, 25 of not feeling great. My glands are all swollen again, and it's just never ending. It's not going away. But we will get there, hopefully. And it also means I'm a little overtired and my brain is not working right. So I'm like trying to figure out, how do I cut this to make it work? It was like scrapbooking 101 that evening. I was like, I know there's a way to do this. I just got to figure out how to do it. And at the end of the day, I did figure it out, and it really wasn't as hard as my brain was making it out to be. So here's where I decided I want to go ahead and rip these other two pieces of paper, and I really like the softer edge that it gives. It just kind of softens everything up. And originally I was thinking I would use those dies that are over on the right hand side there from Sizzix, and I would use some foliage or create some foliage using this green paper, and that's why I ended up gutting the green paper. But in the long run, I decided not to do that because I looked at my bin of ephemera, and I have a whole package. Actually, I have 2 packages of ephemera from the Bow Bunny Willow and Sage collection, and it's like the perfect color for this layout. So that's what I end up doing. I don't end up die cutting any leaves or flowers or anything like that like I originally thought I was going to. I end up just using the stuff from the Willow and Sage collection. Now you can also see at the top of my screen in my little leaf dish, which MK gave me at a retreat. It has some pink ribbon and it's got some metal pieces. Those are going on this layout. I don't want to forget them, so they are sitting there right in my face so that I don't forget to put those on the layout. I am backing the green with the entire piece of the cardboard because I don't want there to be a big ridge where the cardboard is underneath the green and then where it kind of drops off. So I just made it so that it is all the way underneath that green to give it that extra support. I will end up having to put a little bit of foam underneath my photo for the portion that is not over the cardboard because that cardboard gives it so much dimension, but that's okay. I'm totally okay with that. I just inked up the green paper with some black soot distress ink. I've got it that black soot on all of those ripped edges and around the outside of the green that is in with the ripped strip and around the pink one. The pink one I am going to trim a little extra off. Here's where I'm gutting the green. Normally I would do that with a paper trimmer, but I didn't feel like I needed to. I knew exactly what I was using it for. Sometimes when I don't know what I'm using it for, but I want to gut a paper because I really like the paper, I just do that with the paper trimmer so it has nice straight edges on it. But in this case, I thought I was going to use it to create more foliage. So now I've got the pink one all trimmed as well, so I have extra bit of the pink because, again, I was going to make some foliage and I thought I would put some little flowers on there and they might overlap the left-hand green panel. But in this case, like I said, I don't end up doing that, but that's why I was saving the paper originally. So these extra papers will just go back into my scrap bins and I will have it for another layout. It does look kind of weird having the green on one side and the pink on the other, but now that the green goes all the way around the pink, I like it a lot better. And I'm going to bring the pink over on top of the green sagey color strip by using that pink ribbon, and I'm going to put these metal buckles. I don't know what they're really called, but they look kind of like a buckle to me, so that's what I'm calling them. I'm going to put these metal buckles on, and I end up using 4 pieces of metal on this layout, which is a lot for me. I don't usually use a lot of metal on my layouts, but I really like the way that this comes out, and it's a little bit old school looking to me. Back in the day when you used a lot of this type of stuff on your layout, but it's okay. I really like how it turned out, and I like the added texture that it gives, and I think it works really well for this particular layout. This ribbon that I'm putting through there is actually stretchy, so it's kind of interesting. It's roughly on both edges, just a tiny bit. I really like the way that it stretches, and I've had this in my stash for I don't know, about 4 years, 5 years, and I'm really happy to kind of get it on a layout, and I thought it would be perfect for this one. She's wearing pink, and I think her onesie has some hearts on it, so it works well. In case you're wondering why my hands are kind of flying around there, I am actually was on a I was talking to MK over Messenger at the same time, and so my hands are going a million miles a minute just chatting with her as well as working on this layout. I did use my ATG to adhere that, or to hold that ribbon in place on the front of the layout. I added a little bit of washi on the back just to make sure that it stays where it's supposed to be. And here is where I decide, I have this Willow and Sage collection. I don't use a ton of the pink from it because it's not the exact color of pink. I end up using, I think, this piece that I'm just putting down here, which matches really well. And then I use one other pink rose. The other roses in this collection, or flowers in this collection, start going more towards the lavender or the purple side of pink, and so I don't end up using a lot of them, but I use a lot of the sagey looking leaves. And then I have these 2 pieces of washi from the 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbet collection that have postage stamps, and one says always and one says forever on it. So, and they were the perfect colors of pink and green, so I went ahead and cut those out, and I put them onto some white paper just so that they had a little extra support, and I can use them more like an embellishment rather than sticking them directly onto my page. So I'm liking the way this is coming together. I do know that I'm going to cover up a little bit of that pink ribbon, and the metal is going to be peeking out in a couple of the areas there, and that's okay with me. I don't need it to be an in-your-face type of embellishment. I like it kind of just being subtle, and other things are kind of like poking out from around it, like the foliage, and that makes me happy. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with that. I do have this other clip. I don't know if you can see it there in the upper right-hand corner. It's like a little paper clip, but it has a heart on it, and it's really tiny. It's not going to stay in that upper right-hand corner. I'm going to bring it down and use it on top of that rose that is right above the title, which is Blessed. This is actually technically, I think, her, let's see here, maybe her 4th month picture or something like that. But I decided not to use 4 months as the title for it. I decided just to use the word blessed. I really liked the softness of it, and the fact that there's some added dimension with the acrylic there, since I have added dimension on the other side of the layout with the cardboard underneath it and underneath the photograph. I am also adding a little bit of foam underneath the tips of these leaves just to give a little bit more lift to them so they don't look so flat on the page. And I don't add any dimension to the rose above the word blessed because I'm going to add that clip to it, but I do add some dimension underneath the green and the pink postage stamps there. And in my journaling, I will include, that she's 4 months old. That's, I think that will, suffice. It doesn't have to be part of the title. But I did like the title being Blessed because, I don't know. She's very blessed to have such a caring and loving daddy. A lot of people, a lot of kids are. I'm not saying they aren't, but he just does a really awesome job with his girls. So he is a girl dad, and because there's 2 girls, and he does a really good job of doing things with them that they love, and they go and do things with him that he loves as well. So I think it's kind of cool. I am taking the backing off of the word blessed. I end up breaking this piece because I'm going to end up putting some foam tape on it and some glue dots, and I don't know what I was doing. I just was not thinking, and this has been my week this week, creating this layout and just working on things all together. Is my brain is just not here because I'm not feeling great, and so it sounds like I'm using that as an excuse, but it really is true. My brain is not all together here, and so excuse me, I end up cracking it between, I think, the L and the E, and it's not a big huge deal because when you put it back on the layout, you can just put it right next to each other and it looks fine. And see there, I did crack it, and it was just putting the glue dots. I was just holding it in the wrong spot and not being careful, and I know better. Like I said, I don't know what I was thinking, but it's on the page, it looks fine, and I'm really liking the way that this is coming out. And I like that, I mean, there's a lot of softness on this layout with all the pink and with all of the flowers and the ribbon, but there is still a little bit of masculinity there with that green and the cardboard and such. So it's making me happy. There are a bunch of people playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem today. The links are all down below for you. You can go and check out their channels as well. I'm curious to see what they will do. Maybe they will have a lot more wet product on their layouts. I have no idea. So I'm curious to go and check that out myself. Thanks so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. As always, I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I'm a bit slow at it right now, but I will be responding as soon as I can to all of the messages, and I do appreciate the time that you take to leave them and to watch my channel. Links are down below for any products I might have used as well, so you can find those there. Thank you so much again. I will be back again tomorrow with another Christmas video. I don't have it created yet, but hopefully I will have it done by then. I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.